Australians love a grand final. It means something. It gets the nerves pumping and the blood boiling. Our footy codes live for one day, the grand final. In racing, there are many parallels. In spring, the grand final happens at Flemington. In autumn, it's Sydney's Royal Randwick. For everyone involved, this is their grand final. From the florists to the track managers, the chefs to the milliners. Today is the culmination of a long season, all timed for this one day, this grand final. And for those magnificent thoroughbreds that give meaning to the party, they too have been trained to the second. There is sense to this early morning madness. In the dark of the track work, instructions are barked by trainers and followed by jockeys.
Go, Richard, lead him up 6-2, right? Slide him up.
You and Adrian back on the big grass, you go 4 home, 2 best come away, right?
Since 1866, the nation's best stayers have tackled the famous Randwick Rise at the finish of the Group 1 Sydney Cup. Hall of Famers, Carbine, Kingston Town and Mackay Diva are all on the honour roll. The last 3 years have been dominated by the big stables of Williams, Waterhouse and Waller. This year's edition will see these powerhouses clashing again for $2 million in prize money. The Chris Waller show rolls on with last year's Quinella Horses Grand Marshal and Who Shot the Barman joined by the emerging stayer Libra. Waller is striving for a 4th straight win.
So the Sydney Cup next up, and then of course following that is the old Queen of the South and then the Longines Queen Elizabeth. Let's have a look at the totes now for the Sweps Sydney Cup. So 360 for Who Shot the Barman, 460 Grand Marshal and 370 Liberum. So Chris Waller dominating, isn't he? He had the Quinella last year. He might get the trifecta this year. Now, we had a fall in the previous, obviously, with Single Gaze and Kathy O'Hara. Richo's just joined me in the Theatre of the Horse. What about Kathy?
Yeah, well, it wasn't an eerie feeling whenever one of our jockeys goes down. Now, the good news is she's conscious. She is complaining. Firstly, she's in a lot of pain, and she's complaining about a collarbone injury at the moment. The good news is she was put on the gurney fairly quickly to eliminate any neck injuries. We'll have a riding change in the Sydney Cup. Like a Carousel was to be ridden by Kathy O'Hara. And now we also start an investigation as to what caused the fall. Blake Shin and Damien Oliver are two of the jockeys that will be certainly involved in that investigation.
OK, so we're having a look at the fall now. So you can see Jamaica and Happy Hannah involved as well. So it got pretty tight, didn't it?
That's right. Well, Jamaica pushing out, and then by the look of that, we haven't got the side-on view. It looks like Single Gaze has clipped the heels of Happy Hannah, and as a result, Kathy's had a very serious fall. Such an eerie feeling out in the front when a big fall in such a massive race day. And just a reminder also, I know the National Jockeys Trust do a lot for injured jockeys. I think a great reminder for everyone out there how dangerous this sport is.
Absolutely. So let's hope that all's well with Kathy. But it's a pretty good report. Just very quickly, it was a strange move by Ollie early. I mean, was there much talk about that with Jamaica so far back?
Well, she just missed the kick by just half a length. I think she was a smidgen.
crazy good horse. Let's have a look at Al Moonquith. Now, he had a terrific spring. Wins a Geelong Cup, wins a Sandown Cup, and David Hayes feels like he's got him cherry ripe.
Yeah, well, he's a horse, you know, he can stay. He's won over the 3,200 metres in the Sandown Cup. He beat the Offer on that occasion by a length. And just the soft conditions are my only query with him, but he's peaking today. He looks 110% hard fit. Hugh Bowman on board.
So as we go down the page, let's have a look at Grand Marshal. Now, we know he gets the trip. He's the defending champ, so to speak.
I just like the way he finished off last start. The writing's on the wall for him. And the great thing about that is 3,200 metres. The 3,200 metres this is where he comes into play, and he loves the juice out of the track. So Grand Marshal, James McDonald from barrier 6 with 55 kilos, ticks all the boxes. He's ready to rock and roll. He's my number 1 pick.
Well, here's Lib Brown. We can see Lib Brown now. He's going for 4 in a row. You've talked about the races that he's won. Simon, you've seen him in the mounting yard more than me. Is he holding his condition?
Yeah, he is, Bruce. He's a clean-winded stayer, and he's lovely and relaxed. We've seen him like this every time. He's got that beautiful kind eye. Look how much length he's got. Now, he's tightened up a little bit from his 2,600-metre gallop and win last start, but that's good. He's having a good listen to what I'm saying too, but he's the horse on the way up with the perfect form.
Simon, what about the chances of Ouvray?
Look, Bruce, I think the sticking out of the ground is going to help him a little bit. I'm not surprised he's those sort of odds. His last couple of runs, I think, have been below par for him. He's really got to step up over the 2 miles. He likes it, but I just don't think he's been racing well enough to win a Sydney Cup.
I think that's fair enough. Yeah, he's certainly Libran has had his measure. So we're seeing the stayers in the mounting yard, the Schweppes Sydney Cup worth $2 million today. So a continued upgrade in the prize money up to $2 million. And for our Victorian viewers that have been watching Royal Randwick and want to stay with us, remembering that we've got 3 Group 1 still to come, it's time now to switch to 7-2 to stay with the championships here at Royal Randwick. So switch over now to 7-2.
Placed in a Melbourne Cup, placed in a Sydney Cup, peaking. He just missed preferment at Group 1 level in a BMW. He drops from 59 to 57, Gate 5, Blake Shin. Lot to like about Who Shot the Barman.
Simon, Cafe Society, 8 runs in Australia, only 2 placings, but they've been his last 2 starts. I think he's finding his form.
Yeah, he is finding his form. If he didn't have those last 2 runs under his belt leading into this race, Bruce, I would have given him no hope. But he's finding some of his good European form here in Australia in his last 2 runs. He's running the Chairman. He beaten less than half a length. So if he's come on from that, you've got to give him a chance over 2 miles.
So like a Carousel, 3rd last year at 150 to 1. Now Blake Spriggs comes on for Kathy O'Hara. So Blake Spriggs, the rider of Like a Carousel, comes on for Kathy O'Hara. Look, he was in the Adelaide Cup last start. We know he gets 2 miles. I just don't think he'll get it quick enough. He was a long 3rd behind Grand Marshal and Who Shot the Barman last year. I doubt whether he can replicate that today. It would be a big surprise for Like a Carousel. DIC's interesting, Simon, isn't he? I mean, DIC, Gay talked to us earlier about him. Look, he was 4th in the New Zealand Derby a couple of years ago. Well, last year, really. That was behind Mongolian Khan and Volk, Stock and Barrel. Now, he's beaten 4.5 lengths. Robbie Waterhouse has got a great eye for horses. He found this horse for Gay and said, look, he could be a top-class stayer. He looks fantastic, I've got to say, looking at him now. So I think he's an improver. And, Simon, talk about a throw at the stumps. You know more about a throw at the stumps than I do. This horse was dominant at Moonee Valley, but it was a benchmark race. I mean, this would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it certainly would. And I was reaching through the form last night, Bruce, thinking, OK, why is he here? Look, he has won over 3,000 metres. That was the only thing I could find, but in far lesser company, and I feel he should be back in benchmark races. But Mick Kent, well, he's been a trainer for a long time, and he wouldn't be up here just to get the frequent flyer miles. So let's see how he goes.
Well, it's a lot of money, and it pays right down, so who knows? DIC just noticing now sweating up a little. Let's go to you, James Jordan. A challenge. Can you get your head around Chris Waller, or is it Waller again?
Yeah, look, I've taken an opinion here with Libran. I know he drops in weight, but I don't think he's the sort of horse that necessarily goes faster with a lower weight. I wasn't that impressed with the last 200 metres last start. He did get over the top, but he ran a very slow time, so I just think he's under the odds. I marked him at $6. The one I think will run well is Who Shot the Barman. Did it last year, obviously just got nutted. His lead-up runs have been very good, he'll be in the right spot, and I think the cutout suits him as well, so he's the way to go, Who Shot the Barman.
At $4.20, James.
And the James Bogues Premium Australian Oaks. Well, it was a sensational race in lots of ways. Jamaica, big run, ridden back by Ollie, decided to ride for luck, and she finished fourth with a big run, but it was Sophia Rosa getting home, the New Zealand Oaks, first past the poster that lost on protest. Huey Bowman wins a third Australian Oaks, a fourth race for the day. Stephen Marsh, the trainer, his father, rode the winner of a Melbourne Cup. It's a famous New Zealand family. And the news on Kathy O'Hara, we just heard from Richo, and a tweet from Ray Thomas, conscious, talking to ambulance officers, suspected broken right collarbone, concussion, chest soreness, taken to hospital. So that's the latest at the moment with Kathy O'Hara after the scratch, after the fall of Single Gaze. Now, the Single Gaze, pretty good, we think, came back with his Single Gaze now. So minor abrasion. So this is terrific. This little Bonnie mare, I mean, what a filly she is. She's won a Keith Nolan. She won the Vinery, more importantly, the Group 1. So yeah, that's all important stuff. Huey Bowman's getting a stranglehold on the Nathan Berry medal at the moment, and he's certainly showing the way today. So let's go to Crown Bet and to Matt Campbell. Matt, is it one of the Wallers?
No, it's the Hugh Bowman factor you're just talking about, looking for 4 wins in a row. So Huey Bowman on Our Moon Kith. It was $10 in early markets. It's now under $5.50. It's past Grand Marshal. So they're expecting another big win for Huey.
Gee, that would be, I mean, could he make it 5? I mean, well, why not? I mean, he's riding so brilliantly.
And we've got to say a special shout out to Michael Walker too, who he fainted or collapsed at his house, and unfortunately he's had to have some time out. He normally rides Our Moon Kith, and that's why Hugh Bowman takes them out today. So all the best, Michael. Hope you get better well soon. Speed in this. Now, folks, they've got to go past the grandstand for the first time here. It's a 3,200-metre race. They do a lap. They get cheered by all the big crowd here today, and what we're looking for is these stays to get into a nice rhythm and be lovely and relaxed by the time they turn for home and go past us for the first time. So the speed will play a big part in this race.
So you've gone Grand Marshal, sticking with the name, why not? Who shot the barman for Simon? Jason Galante and James Jordan was who shot the barman as well. Chris Waller has the opportunity maybe to go 1, 2, 3. He's done it before. The Doncaster famously went 1, 2, 3, 4, which is hard to get your head around.
Yeah, the thing that swayed me,
not this year,
Grand Marshal, who has run so well in a weight for age race this preparation. Who shot the barman's weight for age racing in the last 12 months has been faultless.
Well, he beat your horse in the Sandown Classic by space, and your horse is a good horse, tall ship, isn't he? He's a quality animal, and
he sustained a long run in that race, you know, carrying 59 kilos. So I just think he's a class above these other horses. Our Moon Kith, I really love the way he looked. Yes, Grand Marshal's got to have a chance. I thought he may need it just a little wetter back in handicap positions.
Jesus,
plenty of chances.
It's hard to win back-to-back this Sydney Cup. Only 5 have done it in history and since World War II, I think. Good old Tie the Knot was the last one to do it. So it's a big achievement if he can do it. 13 have tried in the past 30 years.
So let's go to the 2016 $2 million Sydney Cup. Has never been this rich. And here's Darren Flindell with his
mark down to the post and 1 full circuit to go. So Galante goes in and we're all boxed and ready. Stand by for a start now on the Sydney Cup for 2016, and they're off and racing. Galante the outside, left her pretty quickly. Ouvre a little bit handier today. Cafe Society settled third. Libran's pretty handy to the speed and the early fart, followed by DIC, Like a Carousel the outside, then Destiny's Kiss. Baying over in the yellow blinkers, parks behind the body of the field. A length further back to Grand Marshal. Our Moon Kith taken back, and Who Shot the Barman is the last one. So Galante makes the running here. Kira McAvoy goes forward, and Like a Carousel rolls up on the outside going to second, and Ouvre lands the leaders back third. Cafe Society ridden with cover today in fourth. Libran right on its back. DIC couldn't find a spot in, and DIC has to roll forward in a 3-wide position as they come down to the judges box. Then Destiny's Kiss, a length and a half to Grand Marshal, is tucked away on the fence from Bayanova. Who Shot the Barman, and Our Moon Kith is the last one. They've got a lap of the Randwick racecourse to run, and Galante travels strongly in the lead from Like a Carousel. Ouvre switches off nicely in third. DIC has to do it the tough way. 3 wide, no cover. Cafe Society fifth as they run out of the straight. Then Destiny's Kiss on the inside of Libran. Last year's winner, Grand Marshal, is fourth last from Bayanova. Then Who Shot the Barman, and our Moonquith is at the tail of the field. No change to the order as they run along the Allison Road side of the course. Galante in front by a length to Like a Carousel. DIC keeps chipping away in a three-wide position, getting closer to Ouvray and Cafe Society. Then Destiny's Kiss from Libran midfield, a length further back to Grand Marshal. Then Bayanova from Who Shot the Barman, and Bowman keeping his powder dry, and our Moonquith as they run up to the halfway mark. They've got a mile to run now, and Galante's gone along at a steady enough pace by a length to Like a Carousel. Then DIC has been three wide the trip from Ouvray and Cafe Society. Still no moves at the 1400 metres. Destiny's Kiss further back on the fence on the inside of Libran. Then Grand Marshal from Bayanova, Who Shot the Barman, and 2 lengths last of all is our Moonquith. They've got 1200 metres to run now. Galante trying to make all in the Sydney Cup. Leads out by 3/4 to Like a Carousel. Ouvray railing to a clear third from DIC, then Cafe Society. Destiny's Kiss, Libran, Grand Marshal. He can make decisions from there. McDonald to the inside or the outside. Who Shot the Barman goes up right at his quarters now down the side of the course from our Moonquith, and the Melbourne mare Bayanova's dropping right out of the hut. Down the side, Galante in front. DIC goes to a clear second. Like a Carousel under immense pressure. Then Ouvray from Cafe Society. Libran, Who Shot the Barman to the outside from Destiny's Kiss. Grand Marshal snookered for a run, and then came our Moonquith as the field really bunches up in the corner, and Galante still leads from Libran going to a clear second from Cafe Society. Who Shot the Barman to the outside, and Grand Marshal trying to go with him. Galante in front from Libran. Grand Marshal running on strongly together with Who Shot the Barman. Galante's not done with. Libran tries, so does Grand Marshal. Who Shot the Barman can't win. Galante in front from Libran and Grand Marshal. Galante still in front. He's got Libran beaten, then Grand Marshal, and Galante's going to lead all the way for Kieran McAvoy. Takes out the Sydney Cup by a length to Libran. Grand Marshal third, Who Shot the Barman fourth, followed by our Moonquith, who couldn't pick up on the rails from Like a Carousel. Destiny's Kiss, Cafe Society, DIC, and the other two flat out on their feet, the French import Ouvray and Bayanova.
Well, is there a better front-running jockey than Kieran McAvoy? I mean, he's at his best when he's up front. He actually won the Sydney Cup way back in 2003. Lloyd Williams wins his 4th Sydney Cup to match his 4 Melbourne Cups. And this horse has found his French form at last, hasn't he?
Well, he comes off a third to Libran, who attacks him there in the light blue colours and the black cap there for the Highclere team. And then you got Grand Marshal just wanting to run in under one rein there on the left rein. Couldn't quite get at him and get to the best of his ability, but take nothing away from Galante. Geez, he settled beautifully. When they lead in front and prick their ears, that means they're relaxing and they're saving their energies. He clipped along from the 700, too fit, too good.
Richo, the Williams family love the Sydney Cup. They love the Monjeurs, and they'll love this horse right now.
Bruce McAvaney, I think, just summed it up. You love the Sydney Cup, you love the Monjeurs, and the prize money absolutely brilliant now. Well done.
Oh, it's fantastic to win a race on this day. It's, you know, what John Massara has done here in 3 years is an absolute credit to him and all his team. And, you know, to win one of the majors here is very exciting, as it's been when we've come before. And Kieran McAvoy, what a ride. 10 out of 10. That's why he's one of the best riders and stayers in the world, probably. The way he rated that horse out in front, he used all his knowledge that he gained over there for 10 years riding for the Godolphin team in England, and rode him beautifully.
It looked like he was riding absolutely to plan to make it a serious test.
Yeah, look, he got some pretty cheap sectionals there in the middle, and, you know, he just rated the horse beautifully. We'd said to him before he got on, this horse has just got a sort of furlong, short, sharp sprint. He used him beautifully once he got to the rise, and, you know, he was just too good for them. He was too powerful.
I read somewhere from a very astute man, I think it was Brian Martin, who said that Lloyd Williams had his first winner in this month 50 years ago. That's how much he's been contributing to racing for such a long period of time.
Gee, that amazes me. He tells me he's only 55 years old. I didn't know you could own a horse at that age. I might have to see if we can pull out his birth certificate. He must be taking some liberties with his age. But no, look, Dad's been involved in the game for a heck of a long time, as we know, and, you know, he certainly, I can tell you he had his first group winner in 1968, but I don't know about his first winner. But, you know, this is a great credit to all our team. You know, I think think this is one of Dad's greatest triumphs myself, winning this race with this horse, because this horse couldn't have won it at the Pakenham night meeting 6 months ago. So, in fact, I think he ran at Pakenham and got beaten, I think, from memory. And I'm serious about that. And, so to turn him round, and to Rob and all the team, they've just done a marvellous job.
Well done. Go and enjoy. What a super win. Well done.
Good on you, Richo.
And well done to you, Richo. On top selection. Look, he did get beaten at Pakenham 3 starts ago. It was before a spell. It was in a handicap. Desert Journey beat him by 8 lengths. He'd come up here for the Hill Stakes and the Craven Play, but he turned it around in the Manion 21 days ago, and look, he's a strong star. He won that Group 1 in, it was the old French Derby. It's now called the Grand Prix. It's the 2400.
Yeah, the 2400, and it was a heavy track. Andre Favre trained him then, and he won, and that's when he came on the radar that, oh, hang on, this fella's got a bit of quality about him. The sting out of the ground was the key. Over there, it doesn't necessarily mean it is here. Now, I suppose his form does point that way, but to see him get through the soft today, that suddenly really announces him here in Australia that if you're at the top end of dead, this horse is going to be a genuine contender in anything he races in.
Well, the last Sydney Cup winner really to challenge for a Melbourne Cup was Mackay Diva, and that was in 2004. A lot of them have run. The Offer was favourite for a while, didn't come up. Grand Marshal last year was down the track. So I wonder, could this horse be even go to the next level and be a genuine contender in a Melbourne Cup?
Well, he's going to get in with the lovely lightweight now, isn't he? 51.5 kilos. He qualifies for the Melbourne Cup, winning this Sydney Cup, so he's in it with a real chance. And the way he outstayed him today was terrific.
And the sire of this horse was the sire of Green Moon. Green Moon, who won the Cup when Brett Preble rode it for Lloyd in 2012 from memory.
Yep.
So the Monjeur's just an incredible stage.
Oh, they certainly are. Yeah, they've won everything through Europe from
all the derbies, haven't they?
Oh, just brilliant. Sorry, mate.
Quite difficult to win a Sydney Cup with 57. So who shot the barman? He's run credibly. And Libran, we're going to see him hopefully in springtime too. And Grand Marshal, well, he ran terrific also with 55 kilos. Very hard to win this race back to back, as we mentioned earlier.
Nick Williams said something there about John Massara and the prize money. Lloyd Williams, for many years with these top stars, would have one run in the autumn. Now we see the United States here today. He's probably got a bigger reputation than Galante. The money is so great here in Sydney for the championships that even Lloyd, with all his wherewithal, you can't resist it. You've got to get a bit of it.
Yeah, but I think Lloyd's attitude's changed a little bit as well. Not only from the prize money perspective, which I'm sure means a hell of a lot, but these are different horses. The influx now of probably in his stable, if he's got 50 horses, 48 of them are from Europe.
He wins $1.2 million this horse today. Does that pay for him? Now, he wins a Grand Prix de Paris. Would Lloyd have paid that sort of money for this horse?
No, he'd be right now.
He'd be right now. Okay.
He was only 2.3 lengths off preferment in the Hill Stakes there last year. So, he's got the ability. He's proved it today.
Hey, Richo, you were reminiscing about Lloyd in 50 years. I reckon Kerrin McAvoy rode keeper for Lloyd. Now, it's a long time ago, a Group 1 winner, but I'm not sure how good his memory is after winning a Sydney Cup.
Yeah, that's the first question I'll get to. Bruce saying that he thinks your association with Lloyd goes back to a horse by the name of Keeper. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a while ago. Actually, Ray Thomas, who's right here, got the date out of the archives. I think it was 2001, Easter 2001. So that was my first winner for Lloyd, and he's obviously got an affinity with buying these European horses, and full credit to him and Rob and his team, because it's been a masterful effort to get this horse up with only a couple of runs under his belt, and he gave me a lot of confidence going into the race.
And you just rated him perfectly. When did you think you could win? What part of the race?
I was pretty happy at the mile, yeah, and he got a little bit eager and anxious when they got to him at the 1,000, but I was still full of running. Like, he's grabbed the bridle and I was still full of running at the top of the straight, and he got through the ground, which Lloyd said he would, and his European form suggested that as well. So, huge buzz. We came with a good each way chance, and to be able to pull it off in the colours of Lloyd Williams and Nick, it's been a real buzz of mine, yeah, for sure.
Well, your second Sydney Cup, congratulations.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Good on you, Richo. And Chris Waller second, third and fourth, and Lloyd described him this morning as the TJ Smith of the day. So, but it was Lloyd Williams, Robert Hickmott and Kerrin McAvoy. It is correct weight, by the way, 7'4", 3 and 1. after the swept Sydney Cup. So let's check those dividends. And this horse was, well, he was backable, that is for sure, around about that $10 mark. Libran, good run, Grand Marshal, strong run, and Who Shot the Barman, probably just the weight. I think Simon Marshall summed it up perfectly. He just couldn't accelerate it then. But this horse, if you notice, is actually drawing away on the line. A good sign.